I'm a working artist. I'm a graphic designer, illustrator, painter, muralist, dabble in video and all this. As the pandemic um, started, I realized right away that Imperial Valley, where I'm from, was um, was not getting hit yet, but when it did, it went off the roof. And as you see, when we see the mapping, we see California and we see a red spot. That's Imperial Valley, way down at the border. We're very far away from those major cities. Disparities here hit very hard. Just the economic impact, unemployment, and on top of that, the pandemic. As it is, this Imperial Valley has very few arts groups. It has no major museum. There's no major art establishments. It's a community centers that serve as multi-purpose. That's what we have. So as I was invited by the Imperial Valley newly created Equity and Justice Coalition to, they were asking artists to come together to see what we can do in response to the pandemic in our Imperial Valley. And I was quite eager to join simply because as a painter, I didn't want to paint anymore what I was painting. I was now painting pandemic subjects because that's where I was living. And I figured that this was something that I had to do because, your mindset is different. Some of my clients' projects were on hold. Other projects were, just moved for future months. So I put all my energy into working with the Equity and Justice Coalition. And as they got together over 20 artists through Zoom, wonderful people, which I really haven't met, but we became very good friends, all through Zoom. And they formed a series of questions to us artists of how to commemorate the suffering, the deaths, how to lift spirits to the community, what can we do to demonstrate a reaction. And I said, it's exactly what I've been pondering, what I've been doing, and how do I share this work that I've been doing? I've been submitting into contests for posters. I've been sharing it with friends. And here was an opportunity now to organize something. So 3 ideas came about. One was to create a virtual art show. Everything is virtual, as we all know, and where it takes us, it's going to be in unison how we all get impacted and how we're able to use this technology. But it is virtual, and we figured it would be a week long, September 28th to October the 2nd. We're asking anybody who is connected to Imperial Valley in any way. You don't have to live here. You could have passed by and know what this county is, and you want to submit anything from a graphic to a poster to a message. If you're a poet, whatever you want to submit, there is a link in for you to submit, which will become a website where we will host the virtual art gallery. Other projects came out of the same meeting, which is a poetry night. That poetry night will begin on the 24th of September, which will really kick off this ongoing series of reaction art that I call it, because the pandemic really got us together. Here, people of all ages, I'm kind of on the older age, but there's artists who I didn't know about, but I like their work because I'm already getting familiar with their creativeness and their poetry and writers. And I'm just very proud to see them come out. If a pandemic is what it took, and then it is something that we have to look at in terms of innovation. Third project will be to create later on in the next month, because the pandemic is going to be here and we want to keep lifting spirits, is to do an outdoor art show with the entries that are submitted on the virtual art show. Basically blow them up, put it in a place where people can do their walking outdoors and drive by their cars and be able to enjoy the art at a safe distance and sort of work this way. What we're doing for the artists here is allowing them a place to submit their art without judging, as long as it's, in the theme of hope and resilience to Imperial Valley. We're asking for anything for any age to submit. There's a small entry form that you fill up. If you happen to have no money but you want to create something, we've actually developed a small budget that will be helping you get the material so you can, submit something and not let money be an obstacle. We'll help you get the supplies. Also, a lot of artists that we've been talking to are talking about their impact. So we are eager to share relief funds information through the Equity and Justice Coalition. They're a great sponsor, great group of people that are very much in support of the arts and the community in general, because they deal with rent moratoriums and many other crucial subjects. Here is an opportunity for us as artists to react, to say Imperial Valley is resilient. We've been through a lot. We have all these disparities, but yet we will prevail. We will come out of this, and we want to give people that hope that artists haven't forgotten you. Even though there are arts districts and groups in Imperial Valley, we are artists, and we might not be able to, help a patient or be an essential worker, but I believe art and expression is essential. And if we can lift spirits by having a child's message be on that art show, or a poem that somebody writes because of how they feel with the disparity, or their personal trauma, or their personal message of hope, whether it's graphics or painting, we want to historically put these together in one place that we can look back and say, we are resilient and we have learned, and now we want, and I'm going to jump the gun to the future, we want a museum, we want an art center, we want the artists to have attention, and we don't want all these pieces, we really want help. And if the government can jump in, we appreciate it. Personally, I would love to see that.